Hi there. I just was going to start making my breakfast salad, and I thought maybe we could do it together and chat about some things that uh, I've been doing or thinking about. So I just have my hair up and I've got my weighted vest on. I started the day with a, a meditation, and it was about balance. And for me, I've been feeling like I've a little out of balance. Um, and what does balance mean? Like when I was meditating and I was saying the word balance and I was breathing and I was relaxing. I was also doing this outside in the morning as the sun was coming up, which was really cool. And I did it on my phone with an app that I have no affiliation with. It's called Insight Timer. And I didn't even realize that they have a section on there that's all live. So I jumped on and tried a live. And when I think of balance, I think of literally like standing on one foot and balancing. But balance has so much more to do with so many other things. Balance is about, for me, anyways, these are all my opinions, about in different areas of our life, like making sure that we're not, overdoing it by doing too many things or being on the computer too much or, focusing on a certain thing all the time until we're drained. Cooking and cooking and cooking and cooking until, we're exhausted and we don't want to cook. So finding balance is something that I need to work on. And I just wanted to bring that up with you guys. But I am also going to start making my salad. And I also just wanted to thank you for coming to my channel, which is a fairly new channel, but it's been fun. I'm still learning a lot. And if you're enjoying this or you're interested in other topics, hit the subscribe and maybe like the channel or put a comment in that can, tell me some of your thoughts, ideas, if you want to add to the conversation. Okay, so I've got a bunch of these containers that I use. I saw somebody using these a while ago, and it's all clean in here, but I have all different kinds of lettuce. This is the red leaf lettuce, which I'll put aside for right now. And I've got kale. So I've got this bowl. I'm going to show you everything I have with some other veggies that we're going to be adding in. So I'm going to start with putting in kale. The kale's been washed. It hasn't been chopped pretty well, but I'm going to put in some kale. And then I've got some other green leafies that I'm going to also add. So that one I think is Swiss chard, and I'm going to put that on the side also. And I even have some of these pieces. This is the beet from a beet, the beet greens. They're so good for us. I put them in smoothies. I chop them up in salads. It's really fantastic. And then I also have another container with more stuff that we're going to add in a minute. But I just want to start out by massaging my kale. And if you've never massaged your kale, oh man, you've got to massage it. What happens when you massage kale is you break down the cellular walls, and it helps with digestion, and it helps when you chew it, make it a little more tender versus just, kind of crunchier and thicker, and like it, it's a pretty this green is pretty tough, and but I love it, and it's filled with so many good things. So anyhow, what I normally do is I take my greens, my kale, and I just clean it and everything, and then I give it a rough chop. And then I just put it in my bowl of choice, and I'll start massaging it. That's pretty much how I do the kale. So let me bring the bowl back. Some people like to massage their kale with something like lemon juice or lime juice or some type of, liquid to just kind of help it. But today I'm going to just use my hands, and this is what I do. Just really give it a good squeeze. It's actually kind of relaxing and also good for like strengthening your fingers, I think. So you can break this down all the way until there's actually liquid squeezing out into your bowl. And I'm not going to go that far. I'm just going to break it down a little bit so that it's a slightly tender, like I said, and tearing it as well. But when you massage it, you'll notice that the color starts to change. It gets a little bit, maybe a little bit brighter and also deeper at the same time, if that's possible. At least that's how I see it. And I just love massaged kale in a salad. So I'd love to hear from anybody who struggles with balance or has suggestions about how to bring balance into your life. I think one thing about balance that I could do is, and I have done it, I don't do it on a regular basis, but set a timer and allow myself to have a certain amount of time where I'm going to be on the computer for X number of, here it is, here's the kale, X number of minutes or whatever. And then, when the timer goes off, switch to something else. So with this, I'm just going to chop this up. And this is a Swiss chard. I think I bought rainbow, but these look like the red leaves. And it's also the beet, green beet greens. And there's nothing wrong with eating beet greens. The tops, never throw anything out. I mean, they're amazing and filled with so much nutritional value. One of my favorite tools in my kitchen is this little scraper guy. I just love this. So I'm just going to take this and add it to our bowl. And I think I might try to scoot you a little closer so you can have a better look. So that's the 2 in there. Maybe I'll just put this on the side. And, another reason for adding citrus in here, besides breaking it down, is that when you add citrus to a salad, it brings out digestion, helps with digestion. And so you can feel comfortable that you're getting better absorption when you digest your food. Because my goodness, we go to all this effort. We, buy it and clean it and store it and chop it and chew it. You want to make sure that you're digesting it. Otherwise, what's the point? So this was the red leaf lettuce. And I'm add that in also. I like to use at least three greens when I do steamed greens or salads. I don't always do it that way, but at some point during the day, I like to have that. Now, some other things that I have in here, I have just a little bit of leftover, let me just move the camera, a little bit of leftover broccoli, so I might throw that in a few minutes. But under here, I have some spinach. So I'm going to add some spinach, and I also have mixed in here is some arugula. And oh man, arugula is great. And I got all my greens this time. Let's see, all of them, almost all of them. I think I got some of the kale from the grocery store, but the spinach and the arugula and, well, I know those for sure I got from our farmer's market. And if you haven't gone to a farmer's market, you should seek one out in your area and really try to go and just check it out. They've got such amazing and beautiful things there, all kinds of food that's freshly grown in your area, and so you can support the local farmers, and especially if it's organic. usually they don't use the same techniques, so it's healthier. And I also know that buying from different grocery stores, different farmers market, growing it yourself is good to rotate because they come from different places. And the ground and the soil in different places is different. So you get different nutrients. So if you buy the same kale from the same grocery store every single time, you might be missing out a little bit. So anyways, here we go. And I'm throwing in the rest of these chopped greens. The only one I really massage is the kale. And now I'm just going to start adding some other stuff. I've got green beans that I bought just the other day, and they already are looking like, please eat me. So I'm going to throw these in. I'm going to add the broccoli. I've got, this is like what I have in the house. So I have part of a beet. So I'm going to shred that. I've got some cucumber I'm going to add, a zucchini that I got from the farmer's market, a yellow bell pepper. I've got a little bit of leftover celery and a carrot. And then I'm going to add a heirloom tomato. Aren't these gorgeous? Gosh, I hope to be able to be successful to grow my own heirloom tomatoes. And I also have part of a little bit of some onion left. So that's what I'm going to be chopping and creating this beautiful salad. And I also want to show you a side note from the salad is I've been making those taco shells, Lissa's raw taco shells, that I have some other links that you can look at that I can attach below and watch me make these. I just wanted to show you that, here are all the taco shells that I have left over. But I made some flat ones, it's the same thing, except I didn't fold them. And we used these to make nachos on a plate. I tried to make smaller ones, but I don't have a stencil. But this is a smaller one, and just for size, I'll show you, like in my hand. So this could be for chips and salsa or guacamole. Whether you're raw or not raw, we just put these on a plate, and I put all kinds of stuff on there. Beans, I did refried beans. We did, oh my gosh, lentils that I had sprouted, and some bell peppers. You could just throw anything. We had some sour cream that's not really sour cream at all. It's made out of cashews. And onion and just anything, everything. And a salsa, I made a salsa, which I'm going to be using today. So that'll be fun to show you as well. And let's see, I did want to just share about my weighted vest that I added half a pound today. So I am up to 8 pounds with the vest, and it's just been great. I have the 2 pound here, and then sometimes I have the smaller individual ones. So while I'm chopping this, I just wanted to share a few other things about my weekend. I went to 2 potlucks, which were great and made for a very busy weekend. One of them I brought watermelon to. Actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't 2 potlucks. It was a potluck, and then this other couple had invited us over because we missed their potluck. So it was actually just a dinner for 4, because my husband joined. And but last night's potluck, I brought watermelon. I was thinking about all these different things I could bring and make, and I just got real simple. Sometimes simple is just great. And it turned out to be wonderful because I was the only one that had brought any fresh fruit. Way to go. So it was liked by everyone, and there were so many wonderful, beautiful dishes there as well. And for me, I don't necessarily go there for the food. I go there for the connection and to learn about the people. And, if I could help anyone in sharing anything that I know, that's what I like to do. So I do normally keep my scraps, these little scrappy ends, and I freeze them in a bag and I make broth out of it. But I have so much in my freezer now that I have no more room. So I wish I could say that I'm going to compost it, but I don't have a compost. So I'm just going to let it go. We just do the best we can when we can. And so what was really nice about our potluck was that we are in Arizona, and it was one of the first opportunities for the weather allowing us to sit outside because it gets really hot here. So that was really nice. And I spoke to people about their water systems. I really want to figure out about maybe adding some different things. And I've been chatting about this for a while. I'm adding the green beans into the salad mix. And so for the onion, I just find that if I can score it a little bit, makes it so much easier, even if it's just this little piece, to get the small bits. And then I usually go this way, although this is kind of falling apart because it is the end, but that's okay. That's okay. Does not have to be perfect. And I like to use it all the way down to this little nub. And then I'll just rough chop it also. So another thing that was going on this weekend that I partook in was plant stock. And so I signed up for plant stock. Plant stock is a paid, weekend extravaganza that's put on by Rip Esselstyn. And if you don't know about him, he's pretty incredible. And his family, his father is Dr. Esselstyn of Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease book and so many other books. His mom, Anne, and his sister, Jane, have cookbooks. And I just really enjoy what they offer to people. And so they had an event where they had speakers and people sharing recipes. And so I signed up for that as well. Okay, I'm adding the onion. Now I'm going to put in the broccoli. My garden is in terrible shape. So I cleaned out the beds. I have 2 garden beds, and they just were just a mess. Everything was pretty much dead or overgrown. And so I raked it all, and for the most part, have it all empty. One of them has a serrano pepper in the plant. In the bed. And so that, I just leave, but everything else around it. And I'm also dealing with a terrible problem that I have with a blackberry bush. I had planted a blackberry bush in the ground, and it started to spread like wildfire. And I pulled it up and put it in a pot, which it's doing very well, but it's popping up everywhere again. So I have to dig it up, which I've already done, and try to get the root and dig it up so it doesn't keep doing that. So the cucumber can be cut so many different ways. I think I'm just going to do it like this. Throw that in. A lot of people like to do the cucumber like last if they're making this, and it's going to last them for a few days because it's wet. And when you add wet, it goes faster, So some people, and I do this too, just do the greens and any other, the onion, you could put the green beans, the bell pepper, most of everything else, and just do tomato and cucumber when you're ready to keep it from getting kind of soggy if it's, a couple days old by the time you finish it. So I'm just gonna cut the ends off here and chop this up. So another thing that I could share is my household is going through some transitions. And I think I'm always going through transitions. Because we're evolving. And I believe evolution and evolving is caused by energy, and energy is a constant movement. So we are evolving and changing in our household because my husband has been becoming more and more on board with eating my way. And it has been really, really great, shocking, surprising, tiring. And I could just share a little bit about it. So, I've been cooking a lot of raw, and I'm going to put this down while I talk so you can see what I'm doing here. Cooking a lot of raw, and he's been enjoying it with me, but, not on board. Anyhow, this last 4 or 5 days, he's just sort of embraced and been eating what I'm eating. And we're still working on it because he finds that he's not full long enough. Even if he eats until he's full, he gets hungry again faster. And so I'm trying to figure out what I can have made in advance to help him. And he's trying to figure out, how to know when he's full. And it's kind of this dance that we're doing right now. And he is not 100%, but my goodness, he's like up in the 90s over the last handful of days. And, he takes blood pressure medication. And I am not suggesting that anybody do what my husband is doing. But he started feeling a little bit, and maybe he said dizzy, a little dizzy or lightheaded. Maybe that was it. And I said, I bet it's from the food. You're eating this fabulous food, and your body doesn't, maybe you don't need the medication as much. So I suggested that he call his doctor and, and let him know what he's doing. Of course, that's not what my husband does. So he said, no, I'll just figure it out myself. So I guess he stopped taking his medicine a day or two ago, and he feels great. And he's been taking his blood pressure, and his blood pressure is in like super normal range, which is not the case usually for him. It's been very high. And here's our yellow peppers. And so, I talked to him this morning. I'm going to go ahead and grate some carrot and some beets while we're talking. And I said to him, like, okay, you're at work today. And, he's not one for taking food. Even if I make it and put it in the car for him, he's not going to remember to eat it, or it's just going to get lost. And we learned that many years ago. But I said, let's have a plan. And so usually he doesn't normally eat at work. He just gets busy, and he usually just eats, at dinner time. So I said, let's have a plan. What happens if you get hungry? Because you're eating differently. And so we walked through it. And his plan is, he knows if he gets hungry, he has an idea of some restaurants that he can go to, and a few ideas of different things that he could get, whether it's a salad or some kind of rice bowl, and something that's filling. He could go to a sandwich place and just get like a veggie sandwich, just something that keeps him on track. And we're not going for perfection here. we're going for small changes, incremental changes. And I'm like so proud of him. It's so fun. I've been dreaming and wanting and wishing for years for him to, give it a try. And, and I don't put an expectation on him. It's whatever it is, take it meal by meal. But we also talked about, well, are you familiar with where the grocery stores are that are near your office? Because he doesn't usually go to the grocery store when he's at work. And so, what would you get if you went there? Do they have an open salad bar like a Whole Foods, or, Trader Joe's near us? They have salads, and, what would fill you up, tofu or beans or all these different things. So we talked about that. And so he's got a plan. And I think that's really important. We all need a plan. I need a plan. If I don't have a plan, I may not be as successful as if I have a plan. So having a plan and making sure that you have the food prepared ahead of time before you're hungry is so key. And so, this salad, I mean, there are times when I could probably eat it all. It would take me several hours, but, I have a plan. So maybe this part of this salad will be for tonight when we have dinner together, or, whenever. For him, I've been making rice and potatoes to have it ready. And I've eaten it with him too. Just having things available. We talked about, well, what are we going to have for dinner tonight? I showed you those shells. We could do nachos, or, we could do something else. And we talked about all of our different ideas. And so I'm going to try to have a plan so that when he gets home, he's successful. And that will help me be successful, because he won't be eating the other food or bringing it into the house or whatever. Now, it wasn't perfect for him this weekend. He did not do 100%, but he did so great. And gosh, I'm so darn proud of him. So whatever it is, wherever you are, or your family is, there's always hope. But for me, you gotta focus on yourself. I have to focus on myself first. And when others want to come along, then I'm available to help them. So I just want to show you this salad. It's really coming along. It's so colorful, right? And it seemed like I really didn't have that much stuff. I mean, I didn't feel like I did. I don't have right now any cabbage, which I like to put in, or radishes or anything like that. But you know what? That's okay. And it's good to mix things up. Usually I don't put green beans in it. So that's that. I have this little piece left still that I'll probably finish shredding and do something with. So I'm just going to cut up let me rinse my knife off. I'm just going to cut up some zucchini. This zucchini I got at our farmer's market. They're so cute and little, and I thought, ooh, and I like steamed zucchini normally, but lately I've been eating it raw. And the first time I really started eating it raw was when it was served at the salad bar at True North, where I did my water fasting. And I just realized that, yeah, it tastes pretty good. And you get more nutrition out of it raw. But then I was also told by my doctor, one of my doctors at True North, that he would like me to eat some gently steamed greens with my salad, because of the absorption and because different nutrients can be released and come out when it's gently steamed versus raw. So, you just do the best you can with what you have. Now, I just want to show, this is a lime that I bought at this, actually, I bought this at the farmer's market. Oh, is this a lime? No, I think this is actually a Mylar lemon that is underripe, but I bought them and I wanted to use them. But it looks like a typical lime. I have a lime tree, and this is from my lime tree. These are just different varieties of lime, or well, in this case, lemon. But this one, I think it's pronounced kefir or kefir. I think it's kefir. And the skin is kind of bumpy. It's got a different flavor. This is the sun gave it a sunburn because our heat in Arizona, but I'll still eat it. I'm just gonna cut it open and show you where the sunburn is. Looks like it got a little, not so great, but that's okay. A lot of people use these in Asian cooking, and God, I wish you could smell it. It's so strong. It's so juicy too. And let me see if I can squeeze some out. Just of that little tiny piece, I'll show you. But in Asian cooking, I hear about them using more of the leaves than of the lime. And I have to experiment with that because I haven't yet. I mean, this little tiny piece produces so much juice. It's crazy. I could measure it and see, but I bet it's pretty much like a tablespoon. Usually it takes me a lot with the regular limes. They're hard to extract sometimes, and these are just really juicy, and I mean, they're so fresh and delicious. And a lot of times I'll take this and plop it in my water and just have lime water. So you could do that. I might do that later. I'll save that. And I'm going to pour this on my salad when I'm ready to eat it. I guess I could do it now, but I think I'm going to wait and do it in a little while. And so some of the other things that I am going to add are, I'm just going to cut up a tomato and then some citrus and some fruit. And then I'm going to show you. I'll be ready. So this is the salad so far. Isn't that gorgeous? And let's see. I want it to be hearty. So to the salad, you can add different things as well. Like you could add, depending on where you are, what you're eating, you could add rice. You could put it over a potato. You could add quinoa to it. You could add any grain. Millet. I mean, there's unlimited grains, so you could add anything to give it some bulk and help it with the satiation part of the meal. Gosh, look at how beautiful this is. So pretty. And I like to get different types of tomatoes, different colors. Sometimes I'll get the little ones, sometimes I'll get the big ones. And I am going to put in a salsa, but I still thought that putting in some of these heirloom tomatoes in the salad, in addition to the salsa, would be really delicious. So it's nice to, whoops, my knife is getting a little bit dull. I'm going to have to get it sharpened, I think. This particular company, let's see, what are they called? Oh, it's so hard to read. It's a Japanese company. I love that you can send just $5 for the return postage, and you could send your knife into them. I don't remember what state they're located in, but if you're local, you could just go in there and they'll sharpen it and send it back for free as just part of what they do. Okay, so there's the tomato. I'm just going to put it aside here. And I'm also going to, this is from the grocery store. I'm also going to wash this grapefruit. I love grapefruit. We have a grapefruit tree, but it has 18, I think, grapefruit on it, but they're all still green. So that's not going to work. And this one, ooh, this is a yellow one. I usually like the ruby red ones when I am, buying them in the store. And this is a different and unique way that I'm trying to kind of peel it, because I would like to put, the lemon, the lime, you can do orange slices. And just today I'm putting grapefruit. I want some citrus to help with digestion. So I was thinking that I could just cut it into these smaller pieces. Get a little bit of that white off, separate them. and add it. It's really lovely. So I'm going to do that. And this one looks a little big, so I'm going to cut these down a little bit more, and there we go. So I'm going to put this aside. And I also have berries. So I'm going to add some blackberries and raspberries. I bought these organic from the store. I never wash them until I'm ready to use them because they tend to go bad quickly. So I'm going to get a smaller bowl, even though I've been known to eat this as my bowl of food, just to show you. I'm going to get a little bit of a smaller bowl. This is too small. Let me get the next size up. I've got some of these glass bowls that I really enjoy using. I like that I can see through it. So I'm going to start adding this in. And let me just bring this here. I'm going to try to, because I didn't really mix it, I'm just going to try to take different parts of the salad to make sure that I get it. Normally I would just eat right out of this, but I'm going to just try to do what I can here. And this is a pretty good bowl. And you know what? Sometimes I'll make 2 small bowls. I'll just come back and refill it. And that works for me. So I'm going to move these aside. And here's the bowl. And I'm going to put some tomato, little tomato in there. I'm going to put some of the grapefruit. I'm going to pour the lime on it that we squeezed. And I'm going to grab a small handful of the berries and rinse them off and put those in. And then I'm going to grab a couple more things and we're going to have our salad ready to roll. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Wow, so pretty. Okay. Now, I have been sprouting, which is fairly new to me. I'm a fairly new sprouter, but these are lentil beans. I've been actually putting these in my taco, but I wanted to put some on my salad. And so I'm just going to sprinkle some of those on there. Doesn't have to be a huge amount, but I try to get a half a cup to a whole cup in a day of beans, lentils, some kind of legumes. And am I successful? Not always, but that's my goal. And so I'll take whatever I can get because it's not about being perfect. It's about just doing your best. Now, I made this salsa. This has tomato, fresh raw corn, organic corn from our farmer's market, but anywhere you can get it at the grocery store, although I've had trouble lately, and mango. And it has cilantro and onion and a whole bunch of stuff. I made this on one of the other episodes. I'm going to put this on as my salad dressing. So there you go. It's full of beautiful colors. And I also have some sprouts. And these I also sprouted. These are broccoli sprouts. I may have shown you before. So I'm just going to take a handful and just kind of put them on here. And the good old hemp seeds. I'm just going to pour about a tablespoon or just going to eye it. Sometimes I put apple cider vinegar in here and I can do other seasonings and seeds. Maybe I'll, just for fun, I'll put some pumpkin seeds in here. Turmeric, ginger, garlic, all things that I'm going to add to my salad. And when I say garlic, I personally am going to put just a fresh clove of garlic in here. Why not? So I am just taking the skin off of that garlic and I'm going to press it. I guess it's kind of an afterthought. I didn't have this prepared before, but you know, it's never too late until it's in your tummy. So there you go. I'm just going to use my little garlic press. Except it's kind of stuck. There we go. And I take the back side of the knife. Most of the time I try to, sometimes I don't. And then I just scrape it out with my finger. There was a tool that came that you could press into this that would clean it out. It broke or I lost it. I clean these out right away because otherwise they get kind of plugged up. And that's something that is tedious that I don't want to deal with. So let's see, what else did I say? Oh, the turmeric, and I'm not going to do ginger, but I'm going to do turmeric. And that's it. That's my salad. So let's do a little bit of the turmeric and we will call it a day. So what are you having for breakfast? I'd love to hear. This is going to give me some antioxidants. And they say that the best way for absorption with the turmeric is to add some black pepper. I don't have black pepper right now. I had it on my sensitivities, things to stay away from, but the doctors told me go ahead and give it a try. So I have pink peppercorns, and I'm just trying to use up what I have. So I'm just going to add a little bit of pink peppercorns. I don't know if there's a difference between the black pepper and the pink pepper in terms of helping absorption with the turmeric. Thank you so much for joining me and making my breakfast salad and talking about things that, you know, sometimes can be challenging. So we gotta mix this up a little bit and we'll have a bite. Yummy. Okay. Let me take a bite. I really try to focus on chewing, really chewing, and enjoying the breakdown of flavors, because when you're not having salt, sugar, and oil, you can taste food the way food was meant to be tasted. The farmer's market or the your own personal gardening, growing your own food, the flavors are so much different than, you know, some of the standard stuff that you get in the regular grocery store. Not to say that there's anything wrong with it. It's just that if you can try one new thing at one of these other places or try to grow something and just experiment and play with it, it's such a joy. You might realize, wow, I never tasted a tomato like that or a carrot like that, and just might want to try to add that in. But I'm going to go eat some salad, and thank you again for watching and creating a delicious meal that is going to help me and hopefully inspire you.